There's a lot of evidence to suggest that the US government and the US military are sitting on the biggest secret in human history.
We have contact with aliens not originating from some foreign country, but from some other solar system. And I have been a party to that.
I went into what is called experiential personal development training. And I did this for pretty much 20, 25 years. I worked with Hewlett-Packard, I worked with GEC, I worked with PricewaterhouseCoopers. And 2 or 3 years ago, I quit. I jumped off the cliff and I assumed that the angels would catch me.
Because I was writing a sci-fi screenplay and I wanted to get the best information out there. And so I decided to take a camcorder to UFO conferences and actually capture these people on film.
There's a large number of covert projects that go on in the United States that none of us are ever aware of.
The people that speak at the conferences, some of them actually are from black projects who are coming out as whistleblowers.
I was genetically managed to have a particular ability, and this ability was what he called intuitive communications. Well, it was because electromagnetic communications were going to be disrupted. The only way they would be able to communicate is through this network of intuitive communicators.
We started to realize that there were hundreds of people out there, maybe thousands, who had stories to tell, but they didn't know where to go to tell the stories.
So I picked up a camera, I started interviewing real witnesses and people from black projects, and I found out that there was truth behind the fiction.
It showed, and I swear to God, it showed structures on the moon.
We're investigators, we're journalists, we're reporters.
I found an implant in my left arm.
High-end NASA scientist who came forward in 1995 to say that they had discovered ruins on the moon.
One person, a journalist, he shot himself twice in the head. We were driving on the Autobahn up this windy mountain road. The whole wheel just snapped off. It's the danger that we just have to accept that goes along with what we do.
I embarked on a venture that between us we called Project Camelot. And the purpose of Project Camelot was to bring the truth to the people in a way that they don't hear in school, that they don't hear on CNN, that they don't hear from their parents. And it's the inside story of what is really happening in the world that the powers that be don't want you to know.
Disclosure is at hand. It is very close, and the American people need to prepare themselves very soon for an announcement from our government that there is, in fact, an extraterrestrial presence engaging this planet and the human race.
The story is so complex, it far transcends the stories of just lights or discs or unidentified flying objects in the sky.
I can safely say that, yes, there were some captured craft, and yeah, they were real. And yes, we really did get some technology from them. And yes, we really did put it to work.
For the last couple of years, we've been working full-time, voluntarily, having a great deal of fun, researching all those stories that you won't find on the front page of the New York Times.
Gradually, you begin to learn that everything you've been taught since you were very young and everything you're being told on CNN is basically a distortion of the truth.
Every person we speak to gives us a different part of that jigsaw puzzle, and it's a very big jigsaw puzzle.
One of the most fascinating areas of research right now is the indigo children.
It's the name that's been given to a new kind of child that has been arriving on the planet in large numbers in the last 15 or 20 years.
They have a heightened sixth sense, and all of them are prodigies, not just one special child, but it's a certain generation.
One such indigo child, his name is Boris Kiprianovich, known as Boriska.
When Boriska was an infant, he never cried and he never got sick.
His mother gave birth to Boriska. She hardly felt any pain. Before he turned 3, he was telling his parents about all the planets in the solar system, naming them, and even naming their satellites. At age 4, he started reading astronomy and astrophysics in Latin. As a little kid, he'd go up to strangers in the street and he'd tell them to stop cheating on their wives or husbands or stop doing drugs. He'd just go up to perfect strangers who he didn't know and he'd start telling them about their lives. Then he started to warn people about forthcoming epidemics, catastrophes, and people really started to pay attention.
There's a young boy in Russia called Boriska, and he says that in 2009 and 2011, according to his memory, he remembers very well his life and the pre-recorded ID or message he has. And this is a small kid, 7 years old. But he speaks of a rather large calamity for one continent.
We thought that we should go and find Boriska. We're on the way to pick up Boriska. Boriska was a little nervous. Would the government level with the people if they really felt that they had bad news to share? Our job is to bring the truth to the surface, no matter what it takes.
We arrived back in LA and we got the most unexpected call the minute we walked in.
Go on. We got Bob Dean.
Really?
Bob Dean.
About 38 levels above top secret. The highest is cosmic. No president has had that level.
You're in a world that isn't at all what you think it is.
This man is a one-man disclosure project. He knows everything.
There's only probably about 25 people in the world that know things that are known at that level.
He knows the inner workings of the military. He knows the inner workings of the government.
Sheer anger that I felt over what the government was doing to people to keep the lid on this. It violated every concept of my whole idea of life and honor and democracy and fairness.
We started to realize that there were hundreds of people out there, maybe thousands, who had stories to tell, but they didn't know where to go to tell the stories.
I said it and I'll say it again, that this is the greatest story in human history.